Last time on The Ties That Bind, the tongue twister finally revealed themselves as Sandra Fairview, owner of the Fairview Tavern. Having struck a deal with a mysterious master, she brought back her daughter as an abomination that turned our heroes against each other. With bones broken and blood shed, Wolfgang, Osmo, and Denier scraped by and saved another town from the corrupting touch of the bleeding god. What lies ahead for our heroes? So you're still sitting in the aftermath of this battle. Miguel has walked upstairs to try to calm the crowd, corral everybody outside, and basically restore order to this town. Asmo, your bones are, I don't think you have many bones in your body that aren't fractured. You are bleeding from many different orifices. And you are still reeling from the psychological whiplash of what just happened.
Oswald's currently lying down, right in the door sill, essentially, with his leg up against the door, looking at essentially the tomb she was in. That Clara was in. And Oswald just doesn't know what to think. He's just kind of shaking a little bit, and that's just trying to keep to himself right now.
Yeah, meanwhile, Denier, you have acquired the dagger from Sandra's corpse, and Wolfgang, you have essentially a number of bones that you can pick from Clara's body, the most interesting of which is the skull that has two horns protruding from it.
Yeah, I'll probably take that for examination.
And there are a couple of fangs on the side, just kind of where the incisors are. They're definitely sharper and pointier. Something that you'd almost expect from a vampire, but it's not quite a vampire fang.
I'll probably just be taking notes in my book. Denier.
Yeah, Denier says as he slumps against the wall and slowly slides down to the ground.
Is the crystal resonating with any of these corpses?
I check, I'll take the dagger and I'll move it over towards Sandra and check on the status of that particular gem.
Yeah, the gem from the dagger is definitely resonating.
Mm-hmm.
And does not seem to be reacting at all to Clara's body.
All right. With a couple moments, he pulls himself back up to his feet, clutching his side where he was first stabbed. And then he begins moving over. And he holds the dagger out to Clara's body.
All right, you notice something odd when you're holding this dagger.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to every other time you've ever been in close contact with a gem, there doesn't seem to be any sort of feeling like tugging your brain one way or the other right now. Yeah, the dagger doesn't seem to be reacting to her at all. It's just reacting to the fact that it's close to the other gems that you have.
No, I don't sense anything, but I'm also not feeling anything from the gem and this dagger. Normally, I feel these things grasping at my mind, but I don't feel it like this. Maybe it could be something with the fact that it's inlaid into a weapon.
What's the hilt made out of?
Looks like, you're not an expert. Go ahead and give me a investigation check on that.
Okay. It's a 10.
Some sort of silver metal wrapped in leather. What looks to be some form of black leather, probably from a goat. Based on the local agriculture. But you're unable to determine exactly what type of metal it is.
Whatever. Go ahead.
It's almost like silver, but I don't think that's what it is.
Well, whatever it is, it hurts like hell. And I lift the cloak, and I show the stab wound in the middle of my back.
Oh, jeez. Are you okay?
Yeah. I was able to get my shield up in time, but if I didn't, I think I'd be done for if I didn't.
I'm going to reach over. I'm going to pop one of my healing light on him.
Yeah, the scar on Daenerys' back that seems to be cutting through his cloak and robe. It looks almost decayed, like his flesh instantly started to repel from itself. And with a glowing hand reaching towards you, you start to feel this soothing sensation as the skin not only begins to rejuvenate itself, but also begins to kind of reconnect. The blood kind of stops flowing out of there. And you even feel like you get a little bit of, pep back in your step as new blood is formed in your body from this rejuvenating, glowing energy.
Wow.
For the record, you restore 10 hit points.
Yeah.
That feels amazing. I feel incredible.
Yeah, that's what being blessed with magical powers will do to you. Interesting. It seems like the area around the stab wound before I healed you sort of decayed your body. Apparently this has some sort of necrotic type of effect.
Yeah.
It occurs to the both of you that you haven't seen Asmo since the end of the encounter. Obviously, your heads are rushing with everything that's happened, but Asmo just sort of disappeared from view for a bit, or like a while ago.
Wolfgang probably figures that he needs some alone time, but he'll go check on him when he's done healing Daenerys. Whoa, what the? Huh? What's wrong?
Apparently, you got stuff in a barrel.
Yeah, you just walked straight through a barrel and found your way to the other side. You see Osmo down there kind of laying on the ground in front of the open door.
Kind of like his back against the side of the door, just kind of looking with his head turned to the left, looking inside it. You dead?
No, but probably feel like it.
Hang on. And I walk over to him and
Osmo looks destroyed. His face is like lumpy and bruised, and there's blood coming out of his ears, which you didn't even know he had, but clearly he does.
I have ear holes. I'll use my final healing light.
I got ears like Jiren.
There you go.
Little donut heads.
No, but even smaller.
Snake ear holes. You heal 6 hit points.
Yeah, Wolfgang reaches down to you, his hand glowing with radiant energy, and as he does, you begin to feel soothed. It might not help the inner turmoil that's going on in your mind, but at the very least, it feels like your jaw isn't broken.
All right. That's yay. Because only HP I had was a little bit of second wind. Aspen just turns to the two of them. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna stay down here. You guys can go up and do what you gotta do, and I just need to be alone.
You sure you're all right? You were charmed after all.
Is that what it was? I thought I went insane. Thought all logic was thrown out. The funny thing is, when we first came to town, she made a pass at me. And from the get-go, right then and there, I did not trust her. It's not often a smooth skin is attracted to a scale like me.
He
takes a sip of his water because he's exhausted.
You got good
It
in.
refreshes and kind of parches, but it burns a little as it goes down because there's definitely some damage down there.
Go upstairs and do whatever you gotta do. I'm staying here.
I'm gonna use another detect magic to see if his brain is still under any sort of residual effects.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
As your eyes glow, you look around. You see that his dagger still magic. Everything in the room seems like, the skull that you have is clearly magical in some way, shape, or form. And nothing seems to be charming him. He's just clearly reeling from the psychological assault he's just been through.
All right. Well, Wolfgang will nod. You're like, we'll be upstairs if you need us.
For what it's worth, Asmo, I know it's not to the same level that you have, but I'm not unfamiliar with something that doesn't belong in this world fucking with your mind. When you want to talk, I'm here for you. And Denier begins walking off.
Any parting words as they leave, Osmo?
Nope.
Asmo just sort of stares off into space, foggy-eyed. Ain't no fortunate sun playing in the background softly.
I would like to investigate Sandra to see if she had anything else on her person.
All right, go ahead. Roll me a investigation.
11.
She seems to have a ring of keys on her for the tavern. A couple of tips in her pocket. You probably have 20 copper or 5 silver in tips from various, patrons.
Okay. I will yoink both, and if I don't find anything else, I'll follow after Wolfgang.
Yeah, nothing else. Obviously, she's not really wearing a magic cloak or anything like that. She didn't have time to get into any real battle attire.
And Denier would not have seen the weapons down in the corner, so without realizing it, he walks up without them.
All right. As you guys enter the tavern, there's definitely a hush over the crowd. People that have gathered, and there's a bit of a commotion. Miguel has quieted them down a bit and informed them a bit of the situation. There's obviously a lot of rabbling going on because of it, and Mr. Darren Fjord has just entered the tavern and is talking with Miguel as everybody else is making kind of hushed whispers. And as you walk up the stairs and out of the kitchen, Miguel kind of motions for you to walk over to where he is, just kind of off in a corner with the current mayor of the town.
All right. Well, we'll meet up with him.
I was letting the mayor know about everything we just dealt with and witnessed.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
So pardon, I'm still taking all this in. Can you, you lot were there for a while. Can you please inform me about what's going on exactly?
Well, where do I start? I know
the
you.
Question, Miguel says as he's pulling out a flask from his belt.
I know you've had some personal experience with those crystals.
He nods kind of solemnly.
Well, I'm going to put this bluntly. Those crystals are possessed by foul magic. They make the people who hold them do terrible things.
I had no idea. I'm sorry. What exactly? Sandra was behind this?
As we've been led to believe, yes, Sandra is the murderer.
I'll hold up the dagger, and here's the murder weapon.
These crystals, they
Sweet God.
take the blood from their victims. They contort their bodies.
It's all just so horrible. I had no idea. I swear.
We believe you. But you need to know, if you see anyone carrying these around, you get them out of your town.
The only person I knew that there was a man who came in some time ago. He had a short friend with him. He seemed a little shady, but I never expected something like this. He met with Sandra that night, and he stayed at the tavern. He kept to himself, and he traded these gems. He tried to sell them. I didn't think they were worth much of nothing.
Do you know how many people have them currently in your town?
No. I only knew that my son had one a little after the man left town, and well then, you know, he's gone now, and I have no idea where he is, and I don't think he's in town. I wish he'd show himself to me if he were.
If we find out anything, we'll let you know.
I appreciate it. I suppose for everything you've done, I don't know where to begin, but I could probably put together some money at the very least. You all have done so much for us and lost so much.
That would be appreciated. But
Is your friend all right? The Mr. Black, was it?
Mr. Black is new to this. He'll be okay, but he's recuperating in the cellar.
Well, forgive me for eavesdropping, but I heard you lot were traveling north, right?
That's true.
Yes.
At the very least, allow me to, and he starts reaching into his pocket, offer you at least a little bit of a vacation on the way there. And he hands you what looks to be kind of a couple of slips, and on the front of them they say something about basically a steamy spring spa. It's run by an old friend of mine. His family has owned some hot springs up in that direction for some time, and it's just outside an old trading outpost. I figure it might be a good stop on your way if you're... It might be a good time to soothe your minds, and maybe your bodies.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll go see what I can about calming everybody down and finding you guys some proper compensation for all this. I know we owe you and your brother, Mr. Miguel, for everything you've done, and if there's anything we can do in terms of a service for him, just stop. Okay, he kind of wanders off. The mayor kind of wanders around, kind of gathers people, talks to them. The crowd gets a little uproary at times, but eventually they all kind of like wander out and leave, and you guys are left in the tavern alone with Miguel.
You'll probably want the body.
Gonna have to give him the old Connolly funeral.
What is the Conway funeral?
You should know, it's your family.
I know.
You know that basically the Connolly funeral is typically it is the burning of the body into ashes and then scattering the ashes, making sure that whatever body you leave behind cannot be used for various reasons based on your bloodline.
Wolfgang nods and
It's literally a hunter's funeral.
Oh, they're monster hunters, so it makes sense.
if there's any way I can help.
If you'd be there for it, it would I know we haven't had a lot of time to re-get to know you, but I don't want to be alone for it.
Of course.
I'm gonna go make preparations. I guess everything in here is fair game.
Suppose. Maybe take one of those hearthstones with you.
I keep forgetting how warm the South is.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when everything's prepared.
Miguel, be cautious. There's another in town. We were attacked just recently. We think that he's after us, but be cautious yourself.
I'll keep my eyes open. Do you have a description? Anything I should be looking out for?
We didn't really get a good look at him. But, oh right, we saw his eye, didn't we?
Yeah, you saw one milky eye and a scar over it. And you know that he was wearing kind of a dark cloak.
Dressed darkly, scar over the eye.
He's got a giant penis.
He's ripped. He's got an 8-pack.
The hidden ninth ab.
I heard it was foretold, but never believed.
I'll keep an eye out.
He's fast too. I had both the door and the window alarmed, and by the time I woke up, by the time the alarm triggered and I woke up, he was already plunging a dagger down into Asmo's chest.
Sounds like a trained assassin. Not really my specialty, but I'll keep my eyes out.
Still, foretold is forewarned, as they say.
He nods. Thank you.
Of course. We'll keep in touch.
He wanders out to go make preparations, and you guys are free to do what you will for the rest of the evening. It's been kind of long, all things considered. Obviously, the bar is fully stocked. There's a fully stocked kitchen, and that cloak that you found, that magical cloak in the coat closet, is basically fair game.
Yeah, Daenerys going to want that.
All right. Yeah, you have the Cloak of Incognito.
Unless Wolfgang or Asmo would prefer it further.
Yeah.
You are in possession of the Cloak of Incognito.
Woo!
Good deal.
Basically, whenever you have it on, your face is obscured and your voice is masked.
Nice.
And as long as somebody doesn't have something that allows them to see through such a thing, you are, for the most part, unrecognizable.
So Daenerys going to sit back down with Wolfgang, and he's just going to lean forward a little bit. And you've been doing this kind of thing your entire life?
Yeah. I'm doing it alone, too. Well, for the most part.
Why?
Because who else will?
I suppose that's fair enough, but it seems like you'd gotten out of it, at least when you were at Emberglade, but this entire thing with the wall and the maw seems to pull you back into it.
It's got a funny way of working, doesn't it? 1 minute you're sitting down and taking life slow, trying to raise your only son by yourself. Maybe a butler as well. And then duty calls. It's just the way it works. There's always something to near. Always.
I'm starting to learn that.
The world ain't perfect. Humans sure as hell ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Osmo isn't. Right. Quite a bit.
He's getting better, though.
Fuck you.
You hear in the back of your mind.
But there are forces at work that are trying to corrupt the world, trying to destroy it, trying to make it theirs. My family exists to give good, normal people a chance.
I have to admit, out of the people that I've met on this travel, your intentions are some of the most honorable that I've met, but do be careful. Sometimes the darkest path is paved with good intentions. You don't want to let yourself hunt and stare into the abyss only to have the abyss stare back at you. But I suppose now that you have us by your side, things are going to get a little bit easier. Hopefully.
Asmo,
Hopefully.
what have you been doing all this time? Still just sitting?
Yep. She's just sitting there, man. Staring into the room and just reacting to all of it.
Anything that he's currently wrestling with in his mind?
I suppose like I took this job for the money. Just go up north. Quick job. Come back. Just investigate something. Grab a couple jewels. Bounce back. Didn't expect all these stops along the way and fighting monsters. Like the zombies were already weirding him out of the wall a little bit. Went to town. Everything's fine. Got paid a pretty sum. Now he's traveling up north, and the Bone Lord was fucking crazy. Osmo remembers cutting off its head and just going like, "Holy shit!" Now this is a bit more personal. Clara, something was off with Clara. He figured that. Like, there's something about her that weirded him out. She made a pass at him, and Osmo, reciprocated some feelings to a certain extent, but he was very untrustworthy, and because he doesn't trust people, and it just sucks that he was right this time. And to make matters worse, he would then he's not only did he deal with that, he then turned out she was a monster, much like all the other ones, and one of the most powerful ones he's ever fought yet, and it brainwashed him into attacking his travel mates, and he almost died. And then in a moment, it was finally broken. Oswald could barely hold on to anything. She reached out to try and touch him or hurt him. And Oswald blocked the hand and bit her right on the goddamn neck. And then she pretty much died after she was touched by whatever the fuck Wolfgang shoots out of his hands. With already, like, that guy's already an enigma. And Oswald doesn't trust him fully. Because it's just how Osmo is.
I want you to roll a wisdom check for me. Just a base wisdom check.
Ooh, just roll. So not saving throw, just a
base wisdom check.
That's an 11.
Yeah. The worst part about all that, you're not sure whether or not, like at the beginning, when you were told to fight Wolfgang, you're not sure whether or not you let yourself get into it.
Yep.
Because
he's pissed at
you've already had mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it, man. So it's Osmo's just like that, and he's just gonna sit down there for a while.
Now you hear the subtle dripping. Apparently, one of the barrels sounds like it's leaking. But
are those old barrels of booze?
You're not sure. You haven't checked. You just hear a drip, drip, drip.
Oh, Osmo just takes a shot of his water. Just
it burns less than last time, and your throat's feeling significantly less dry, despite the air being incredibly dry up here. All right. After some time, you hear the bell upstairs ring, and we go back upstairs, and Darren Fjord has come in. Oh. I had a talk with the townsfolk, and we'd like to offer you this. I already stopped by, and some of them are helping Mr. Miguel with the body. He sets a bag on the table. It's 1,000 gold. I hope it, I know nothing could possibly be worth everything, but at the very least know that the shopkeepers around here are willing to honor discounts for the lot of you, and if any of you need to charter some form of vehicular transport, I will foot the bill myself.
That's very gracious of you. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. I feel like a lot of this is my fault, that I was blind to so much of it.
There's no way you could have possibly known. There are forces at work here beyond anybody in this town's comprehension. Don't blame yourself.
It'll be hard not to moving forward, but thank you for your kind words, sir. They're more than I deserve.
Let me put it to you like this. He motions over towards Wolfgang. He's a trained monster hunter, and even we almost missed it. There's no shame in not being able to see it, because we almost missed it ourselves.
Well, at the end of the day, you saved us quite a bit more bloodshed. And for that, we thank you. If there's anything you need, anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask. You're free to use this place as you see fit while you need it.
Thank you.
I know it might be uncomfortable, but just thank you. And he turns to leave and kind of gives you a nod on his way out.
1,000 gold pieces.
That's going to be useful, but I was thinking of something. What are we going to do? The further north we get, the colder it gets. I assume Asmo's cold-blooded. What are we going to do with him?
He did say we had free reign of the place.
Yeah.
I figured we might be able to pick up some of those heating bricks. Maybe keep them in our clothes.
Based on the size of the bricks, you think that might be a little difficult, but you could definitely wrap them in a bedroll of some sort, and it would certainly radiate a bit of heat off towards you in your travel packs. And obviously, if you were to charter a carriage of some description, they could easily be put in there to keep things warm.
I was also thinking of taking them up on that carriage ride. I think we've done quite enough walking.
I'd agree. So I would suggest resupplying before we leave. And another thing that I want to do, Denier gives a little bit of a mischievous smirk. Lani, so around town, are there like public outhouses or public restrooms or things like that?
I mean, there's a restroom in this facility, this place that you're in, but I'd say closer to the outreaches of town, you'd be likely to find some closer to the quote-unquote slummier side, where, you know, people who work in town but aren't necessarily making all the money live.
All right. You know that orb that we found in the last town?
Yeah.
We know how he can see through it. I say we take it, we find an outhouse, and we slowly lower the orb down into the outhouse. That way, if he tries to look through it, well, he's going to have a show.
Well, I don't think there's any way we can reverse engineer the thing so that we can look back in on him, but that's a good plan. I like it.
I did have something else I wanted to talk to you about, get your opinion on, since Asmo doesn't have any kind of magic that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Denier digs into his bag and he pulls out some notes. So, here's what I'm working on right now, and I'd like to get your opinion on what would be the most vital. This one, he points to scribbling, to one page that has scribblings, arcane notes, and everything like that. This one is meant to deflect or cancel out an incoming spell from an enemy spellcaster. This one is just a gigantic ball of fire. This one right here, he shows it, is supposed to be a dome. It's about a 20-foot protective dome that stops anything from coming into it for about, I'm working on trying to extend the duration of it. I think I'm going to be able to get it to about 8 hours. And this one right here, which is probably the most impressive, or probably the most important, at least to me, this is going to allow me to get I think I'm going to be able to get it to 25 words to pretty much anybody in the world, and they're going to be able to reply to it. But are there any of those that you think would be the most imperative to us on the next leg of our journey?
Well, the threat of enemy spellcasters is maybe becoming apparent now that Asmo is charmed. I think that the counter spell one would probably be most beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. And apart from that, if there's a second one, which one do you think is the second most important?
Well, we might have quite a bit of uses for the communication spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that you're wanting to see how Jamad and Ellie.
Yeah. I was thinking of other reasons, but yeah, could use it for that too.
I can understand the most important reasons, reporting in, things like that, getting in contact with Miguel or, Pip or what have you, but maybe it's
conversation that would be.
Yeah, but the most important is to be, at least for me, is to be able to get in contact with those that's the most important, because this is a lonely trek, and it's important to be able to reach back home. Especially, it's a good morale boost when you're on the road,
Suppose so.
Yeah, so Daenerys offered a few things to think about. Is there anything you guys would like to do for the rest of the evening before you retire? Asmo, do you ever come up from the cellar?
He will eventually, but they'll probably be asleep by then, or they'll head out. Asmo wants to be alone and go to bed alone. Asmo's gonna grab a bottle of booze from behind the bar, though, and just drink it walking up the stairs.
Connor, do you have anything that you want to do for the evening?
I'd probably. How long were we planning on staying in the town? I imagine we wouldn't leave immediately, right?
I mean, you guys can stay however long you want.
And we also
the carriage can be chartered for you basically whenever. Obviously, it's going to take at least one night for it to be set up, or at least a few hours for it to be set ready to go.
Also, the funeral whenever that happens.
Yeah, right now it's being prepped.
I'd say a few days at least.
Yeah, right now news is still being dropped around town. You guys don't seem to be in a particular any real you don't really have a time limit for what you have to do up here.
I'll probably see about, is there like a local smithy around or something?
Oh, certainly.
Probably.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff. This is a big trade town.
I'll probably see about finding some ore from there.
All right. Well, you decide, at least for the evening, to get some rest. Asmo will have come up and drank himself to sleep somewhere. Taka, roll me a D100.
A D100?
Yes.
Oh. Oh my. That's a 62.
You end up kind of falling asleep in the hallway upstairs.
Oh.
Kind of curling yourself around the bottle that you had. And when Wolfgang and Daenerys awaken in the morning, they find you out there.
Before Daenerys went to bed, That's why I was asking Connor if he had anything to do. So when Denier was by himself, like after Wolfgang had already gone to sleep, Denier reflected on everything going on. He realized that Clara is what happens when you fall to the gym.
You don't know that for certain.
Yeah, but that's Denier's suspicions.
Okay.
And he thinks he basically processes everything that's happened, all the death that he's seen, all the horrible things that he's seen. And it's almost like in war, after everything's done, when you're at a quiet moment, that you kind of have a little bit of a mental breakdown. And feeling all the stress that he's been having, Denier takes his evening, he prestidigitations a small pipe that he always saw Lex have, a smaller version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls out some of his pipe weed that Lex had.
Okay.
And he enjoys himself for the evening.
All right. When you smoke this magical pipe weed, you notice that while you seem hyper focused, but at the same time, like your brain's like really wandering.
Mm-hmm.
During its effects, which last for approximately 2 hours, you seem to notice that your introspection has gone up. You get about a wisdom boost of a +2.
Mm-hmm.
And your intelligence and dexterity are -1.
Okay. He just leans against the wall, pupils the size of quarters, and he's just smiling. And he just wanders.
You open up one of your books and just find one that has pictures in it and just look through it.
Yeah.
Every book's a pop-out book if you smoke.
Congratulations, Canada.
Yeah! I'm not
that
taking
smell?
part in that celebration.
Yeah, you have a fairly decent night.
Good. And that is Denier's evening.
Yeah, you wake up well rested. Wolfgang, the room smells a bit skunky, but Denier, you wake up, your mouth's a little dry, and you get kind of this taste to it, but
Yeah, he's gonna take a drink from his water. From his water
you
stream.
kind of rinse your mouth out a little bit. It's like, yeah, that's better. And you guys discover Asmo curled up in the he's curled up in the hallway around a bottle of what looks to be whiskey.
You want to help me get him back into the room?
Yeah.
All right. I'll get this arm. You get that arm.
Give me some athletics checks, guys.
Oh boy.
He's a big boy, as is Asmo.
3.
12.
Oh boy, it's a bit of a slog, Asmo. I need you to roll me a con save to stay asleep.
What save?
A Constitution.
8.
Yeah, you wake up when they're like kind of dragging you. They kind of smack your head into the door.
Get off me! I was still holding the bottle, right?
I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, he's just go to bed. It's bedtime. Also just falls into his bed and just puts the bottle to his mouth.
Yeah, you fall into bed and the sun is on you and you got a bit of a headache. Your bones still hurt.
Close the window. You're letting all the sun in.
In your rest, you had essentially what equates to a short rest. You'd get a one hit dice back for your health pool.
And a hit dice counts as just a D20, or
I think fighter is a D12 or is it a D10?
D10. Barbarian is D12.
D10. Oh, you got 1 hit point back due to your hangover.
Oh boy. Bloop. Hiss.
Yeah, you throw the curtains and just like wrap your head in a blanket and just.
Bleh.
Yeah, you guys head downstairs and you can make breakfast with whatever you want in the kitchen. It seems to be pretty fully stocked with, at the very least, eggs and various form of fowl meat,
Why is the meat so foul? Because it was chicken.
It's made of birds.
Denier would like to try his hand at cooking. He's done a little bit, but not a massive amount, and he wants to try to cook breakfast.
Roll for breakfast.
Let's roll for breakfast. What would breakfast crafting be? I think that's essentially your choice between... I think it's wisdom. I think wisdom would be breakfast.
Okay.
Making a call there.
The most important meal of the day. Serving it up. Dunier's way.
You roll a 4 on your wisdom check there. It's not great. You managed to burn the eggs. You're not really sure. You've never done this before, but you don't think it should stick to the pan the way it's doing. Oh God! Now it's on fire.
Okay. Take it off the fire and pour salt on it.
Eggs au flambe. It tastes salty.
Prestidigitation. I use prestidigitation to augment the taste of the food and make it better.
It tastes less salty.
Yeah! Oh. Well now. I learned that Denier is a terrible cook.
We have learned this now. It is important to learn these things early. Wolfgang, you decide to have your own meal.
Yeah, I'll probably just scramble myself up some eggs and bacon.
I'll assume you've done this before, so just
I'm a
go
single
ahead and
father.
go ahead and give me a wisdom check with advantage there.
11.
11. You get some moderate eggs. They're purely average, but you know what? They are eggs, and they are yours.
Asmo comes downstairs. He's wrapped in a blanket. You know that thing what you do when you're just wrapped in a blanket? It's just your face sticking out of the blanket and your feet sticking out of the bottom of it. Osmo comes downstairs and decides to make breakfast and not saying a thing to anybody.
Yeah, you smell food and you're hungry and your stomach is grumbling and you feel sick, but you know you need food.
Osmo's like holding the blanket closed with one hand, so he's cooking with one hand. So let's do this. Let's do
it.
Shit.
Wisdom check.
18.
Asmo is an expert chef. His eggs are perfectly seasoned. He dabs the correct amount of pepper and seasoning onto them, and he even throws like a little bacon smiley face in there.
Asmo changes the bacon smiley face to a frowny face, actually.
Flips it down to a frowny face. In fact, he adds another strip of bacon and gives it kind of like that bacon upside down D face.
Yeah. Asmo.
Just a bacon oh no. Then he flops it onto a plate and just consumes it whole.
Asmo just like slides the plate back a little bit and all it slides into his mouth for one bite. 1 more hour of sleep, we can go. And then Asmo walks upstairs.
Yeah, the eggs kind of pop in your mouth. It tastes really good. You're surprised with your skill at this level. So if you guys had any shopping you wanted to do while Asmo's getting well.
Yeah, probably.
Where would you like to go shopping? There are... basically, what are you looking for? What kind of stuff do you want to resupply on?
Connor, would you like to go first?
I'm gonna see what the blacksmith has to offer.
All right, you make your way to the south of town. Following the crossroads, you see kind of like a smokestack billowing. You can tell it kind of just getting started as the morning sun is just starting to peek over the horizon. And you arrive and you see a half-elf gentleman in a black smock with black hair, just kind of working the billows on the forge to heat it up. Oh, morning!
Good morning.
How can I help you lot today? Just starting up shop.
Was in the market for some ore.
Well, we still got some ore here. What sort of ore are you looking for?
Well, mainly I work with silver, but what else do you have in store?
Oh, we got some silver. We got some... Let's see here. Got a little bit of mithril in this morning from the mines. Got steel, of course, or got iron, of course. If you ever need iron, got copper.
How much would ingot of mithril run me?
Ingot of mithril? Oh, I'd say that run you probably... Wait a minute, do I know you lot?
Well, we did sort of save the town.
Oh, you're the one the mayor told to give them discounts to. Of course, yes. Thank you so much for everything you've done. It was kind of scary these past couple of days.
Well,
Past couple of weeks.
hopefully you'll feel safe now.
Well, safe as we can till everything gets settled again, I suppose. But here, let's see what we can do for you. If I could get you a ingot of mithril, I could probably sell it to you for, well, with the kind of discount the mayor's offering to pay you up on 10 gold apiece.
10 gold per lump of mithril?
Ingot.
Mm.
You know from experience that an ingot, a properly sized ingot, can probably make you about 20 bullets.
I'll take 3.
3 ingots of mithril. He hands them to you, and they feel incredibly light. Like, you almost think that they're hollow, but you've always heard that mithril is a very light metal.
Very interesting. These will make some interesting things. And how much for the silver?
Silver? Oh, I could get that to you for 1 gold apiece.
I'll take 3 of those as well.
And your 3 silver ingots, those are heavier. Anything you wanted to do with them?
Well, I'm gonna craft them into these little babies right here, and I pull out Requiem and I pull out one of the bullets.
And he looks at the... Mind if I take a look at that?
Sure.
Look at these little babies. If you got a mold for these, I could probably do it for you.
Really?
Ah, quite
I've
the
been-
craftsmanship. Is this gnomish?
Oh, as a matter of fact, it is.
They got them tiny hands. Can really get in there.
I suppose so. Sure. Will that cost me anything extra?
With the discount you've been offered, if you've already paid for the materials, I could do the job for you for another 5 gold. Try to craft out as much of these as I can for you.
Sure.
So you want them made out of mithril and the silver, correct? Is there a priority here in case you gotten
Silver.
silver first, then the mithril? Gotcha, sir. I can get right on it for you. He asked if you will allow him to, borrow your mold.
Yeah, I'll let him see it.
And he appreciates that, and he begins getting to work on that for you. And as he works, it seems like it's going to take a bit of time for him to smelt all of that and get it poured out.
I'll
The
probably-
process.
Yeah, I'll probably stand by and watch him see a master at work. Wolfgang only dabbles, so he'll probably take pointers as well.
He drops one of the ingots into basically just a smelting bowl and puts it in with the heated furnace. Kind of drops some goggles over his eyes as he watches and works the bellows, watches it heat up. And then he takes it with some tongs, pours it into, takes those tongs and slowly pours it into a funnel, which empties it into your mold. Then he puts it back in there so it'll heat up again. Lets the mold completely cool. Then he quenches it, takes it out, looks at it, and you got some perfect silver bullets there. With his thick glove, he takes it out, examines it, makes sure it's fine. It takes a file and starts brushing away some of the burrs. Then he hands you the finished work, and it looks immaculate.
Very well done.
I could probably have a full. I could probably get done with this load probably by tomorrow morning if you give me the time.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, sir. Appreciate your
Yep.
business.
Appreciate you helping.
And he gets about working on that.
All right. Well, Denier, let's take care of what you want to do.
So while Denier's at the blacksmith shop, excuse me, sir. I know that you're already busy with his order. Do you happen to have a box that's made out of lead?
Lead box. I could probably get one of those for you if you're looking for it.
Yeah.
How big you need it?
Denier shows his makes a hand gesture estimate. Basically, I want it large enough. Denier's going to make it large enough so he can store at least the gems in it. So
Okay,
about the size.
About the size of a bread box.
Yeah.
Bit of a work order. You need it to lock? Any typical mechanisms on it?
A lock would be good. You know how magic is.
Now, do you need this whole box made of lead, or can I use some cheaper materials and put on a couple layers of lead?
It has to at least be one solid layer, but you can have other components in the box.
Okay, that'll make it a bit easier to form a lock. At least lead is a relatively flimsy material.
Yeah, you can make it of a different material. It's just that the innermost layer of it has to be lead.
Okay, well, with the proper time and energy, I could probably retrofit one of the boxes we already got now for it. I could make that work for you for another 10 gold.
That'll work. Denier goes ahead and pays him up front.
Thank you kindly, sir. I should have that ready for you at the same time I have this gentleman's order done.
Wonderful, thank you. The next thing that Denier is going to do, Denier's got a small laundry list of things that he's going to want. The next thing that Denier's going to seek out is probably at the general store. He wants a blank book. He wants to pick up some rations. 10 days worth of rations. And do they have any kind of spices at the general store? Pepper, cinnamon.
There's basically a market street that you can go down where there's a lot of people selling kind of like wholesale goods that they've got through traders that haven't quite made their way out of town yet. So yeah, you can find pretty much anything you're looking for. In terms of rations, I'd say go ahead and pay about 5 copper per ration that you want to pick up, and you can get as many as you need in various shapes and forms, meats or otherwise, nuts, hardtack, things like that.
Okay.
As far as spices, any particular types of spices that you're looking for? Because there's definitely a spice trade, but in this climate, it's not big and it's fairly expensive.
Okay. Pepper is probably the biggest one that Denier's looking for.
You can probably find a bit of black pepper, white pepper, and some like pine nuts, things like that. If you're looking around this area,
Okay.
probably get I want to say you're gonna probably pay about 10 silver per pound.
Okay. Denier will buy 3 pounds of black pepper.
Okay.
And
They give them to you in like 3 separate satchel bags.
okay.
Like little tied burlap bags.
And 1 pound of white pepper.
All right. Same. Another tied satchel.
Okay. He stuffs it into his backpack. How much for just the blank book?
Blank book you can get for, I don't know, 1 silver piece, which it seems a decent tome. If you want a fancier one with a clasp that locks, that'll probably be closer to 10 to 15 silver.
That's not necessary. He'll pick up a couple blank books.
All right.
And
One
he's
yeah.
basically he's the whole appearance of being a journalist researcher. He's going to have something to have his notes in if he's going to be doing this kind of stuff. Otherwise, his cover's not going to be very good if people ask to see his notes and he doesn't have any notes.
Fair enough. Well, you got your books. Obviously, you still have quills and ink where you need it.
Yep. Denier still has a fair bit of parchment and quills and everything. Is there like a bookstore?
What type? Like just a store, like a library-like bookstore? Or are you looking for something that's more magical inclined?
Like a
There's
library-like
both.
bookstore. We'll take a look at like the quote-unquote the ye olde Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, you can find a book for like a bookstore with researching tomes and stuff like that. Anything particular you're looking for in there?
Denier,
Old man greets you at the counter, just gives you a wave.
If there's anything you're looking for, just please let me know.
of course. I love reading, and I'm looking for something to sink my teeth into.
Well, these are books.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
Just kind of stares at you blankly.
I want a good book that I can read on the road.
Well, there's plenty around here.
Do you have any that you would suggest?
What you in the mood for there, lad?
I'm thinking about 3 different books. One a history book, so I can learn more about this land.
Well, we got everything post-war history right here for you if you're looking for some ancient... something within the past 500 to 600 years of written history.
Perfect.
He hands you a book that's titled Archmage, the Archmage, Beckoner of the Land.
Ooh. The next thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking for a book of daring do. I want a book of grand adventure and
Oh, we just got this in, got it imported from some unreputable sources, but
Sets a gold-leafed book on the table.
please tell me it's not Darrington Loxley.
Darrington Loxley. It is indeed by Darrington Loxley. And it is called Tales of Daring Do.
Okay. Denier stops for a moment as he thinks. The third book that I'm looking for is a bit more unusual. He seems to take a moment to summon up his courage for this one. Do you have any love stories or like a romance novel, anything like that?
are you looking for porn, son?
Denier just stares. His entire face goes red.
He looks over at you, Wolfgang.
He's looking for porn.
Well,
I
give him
was
his porn.
looking for a romance novel, but do you have that?
Oh, do I have porn? Who do you think store you're in?
Denier's entire face is red, just straight red.
You best start believing in porn stories. Denier, you're in one.
He throws a switch on the wall, and the fucking bookshelves start turning around. There's chains and whips everywhere. There's pictures that you didn't even know existed.
Oswald's up, currently cooking another egg.
Oh, Denier doesn't know what he got himself into.
Wolfgang walks out of the door and looks up at the sign for the store.
What's the store's name, Lani?
The store's name is, sorry, I actually did have a bookstore written down here, but now I have to... It's called Lil Check's Literature. Yeah, there's plenty of porn here. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it. There's, oddly enough, a lot about the undead in here. Like, this town is clearly, or either that or this guy collects some weird shit.
Does he have anything about tabaxis?
That's in the weird section. You go around and you find lots of stuff with cat girls in it, and it's off to the east of the bookstore.
Hey, it's only weird if you make it weird.
Something about ninja cats. It's bizarre and disgusting, kind of a power fantasy. And
He just stares at it, and then he looks at another one of a bunch of cat girls in a bakery. Ugh.
Which one do you like more, the fat one or the annoying one?
Why? Why?
You asked.
You did ask.
I'll take one that's like. Denier just will grab one that's just a normal tabaxi. Just normal tabaxi.
Okay.
And he will come up to the desk, still beat red, and
you grab one with a alluring-looking tabaxi woman in the arms of a very strong half-elf man.
Okay. And still beat red. He makes sure to put that particular book in the middle of the other two. So, how much will this cost me?
Everything. But for today, it'll only cost you. But for today, it'll only cost you about. Wait a minute, ain't you the lot that saved the village?
Oh no!
Oh, wait till I tell everybody who came in here searching for my porn.
FBI, open up.
He offers you everything that you're looking for here for basically 50 silver.
Okay. The townsfolk will remember this.
This man certainly will. He throws the switch, it goes back to looking like a normal bookstore.
Well, I have learned quite a bit today.
Not as much as this boy's gonna learn, he says, looking at you.
Yeah,
Denier just stands there, jaw agape. He looks at Wolfgang, looks back at the guy. He just hangs his head and walks out of the store.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you. Oh, God. So, that was an adventure.
Yep, you've got your porn.
I was actually looking for an actual romance novel for Denier.
Well, this one certainly looks like it.
I'm sure there's some romantic stuff in there. Beneath all the fucking...
Next thing Denier has on his list, he would like to go to the magic shop. Yes?
Osmo is up. Osmo is up now, and like has boots on and everything like that, and has drank a little bit of hair of the dog, and is ready to go out shopping real fast here too. Also, was Osmo given like his cut of the money?
No money has been distributed yet. It's basically just in a giant satchel.
Okay.
Yeah, Denier's spending his money.
Okay.
Yeah, as you're walking around outside, you actually see Asmo walking out. Like, you're not too far off from town center. You see Asmo step out of the tavern, just kind of like looking around. Sun still kind of glaring in his eyes. Asmo, you gain another hit die plus your con modifier and health back.
Oh boy. So, con modifier is 3.
Yeah, you add your con modifier to the one before, by the way, as well. So you technically now total you have, I think your con modifier is 3. So.
I have 26 health now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you feel pretty good now. You're still, your bones still feel a little bruised, but you feel like you can walk around and be just fine.
Where the heck are they? Osmo goes and wanders and tries to find them.
Yeah, roll a perception check as you step out, because they just stepped out of a library that's not too far away from you.
I perceive. What do I perceive? 16.
Yeah, you see them.
That's what just wanders over.
Yeah, you see Denier, who is just like, his eyes are wide open, staring at these 3 books in his hands, and Wolfgang's got kind of a mischievous smirk on his face.
Hey. Well, you guys are up in a lot of energy. I'm exhausted being near you right now. You
Good
looking
morning, sunshine.
Oh, yeah. So when are we leaving town?
Probably around tomorrow, maybe.
How you feeling?
Oh, peachy. Just peachy. Do we get paid for the job?
Yeah. Got it paid in some tickets to a locally run hot spring. We can rest our bodies, and about 1,000 gold pieces. And free carriage.
I was gonna say, were they throwing a free carriage at the end of that? God. So what's my cut of the 1,000?
Probably split it into 4s. 250
4.
for each of us.
You do remember that the mayor did say that he was paying. He had already paid Miguel his share that they had agreed on.
Figure out how to split it into 3s then.
Oh, well, here's what you do. You both take 333, and I take 334.
I have no
Just
problem
blinks.
with this.
Just blinks and looking at you guys.
His face still looks a little like bruised and lumped up. In fact, a lot of his skin seems to be peeling away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
almost
probably.
molting season.
Wait, you actually molt?
Oh, yeah.
Denier gets a little bit closer. That's
Don't.
fascinating.
Not in the mood for your shenanigans today.
Asmo, as he gets closer, make another perception check.
Oh no.
Denier, I swear,
7.
those books are starting to give you weird ideas.
You're lucky he does not see your porn.
Denier will quickly put the books away. I was actually rather curious if
I molt, you shed. He slowly gets dry and turns to dust.
He just points at Wolfgang.
We all have our weird things we do.
yeah.
Did you know that all dust is just dead human skin? Ugh,
I did not know that.
it's gross, isn't it?
So he looks to Wolfgang. So do you purposely like make dust?
I suppose on a level,
Or is it more of a subconscious thing?
it's more of a it just happens thing.
I'll keep that in mind if I ever need any dust.
It
So there's a magic shop not too far down the down the road.
Yeah, we're about to head to the magic shop to see if we can find some scrolls and maybe potions. You want to join us, Asmo?
Oh, God. Oh, why not? I'll stand at the door and look longingly at all the stuff I don't get.
Oh, you got some stuff at the last magic store.
That's true. That's true.
Thanks for the money. Asmo, I'm guessing, has been given the money slowly. Like, Wolfgang slowly counting each individual piece into his hand. Guys, 10, 11.
Either that, or you
12.
can just trust that it'll be divided up later in the evening.
I added it to my inventory.
All right. So yeah, the money will be divided up, and you guys head to little magical shop. It looks like it's got kind of a kettle in the window, or not a kettle, but like a cauldron in the window. It's called Vortex Vapors and Magical Emporium.
It's a vape shop.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, you go inside, and there's actually a thin layer of mist on the floor.
Oh, it's dank in here.
Yeah, behind the counter, you see a half-elf woman. Hello! Welcome! Welcome to Vorchek's Vapors and Magical Emporium.
Good evening. Well, good afternoon.
It's morning, right?
It's hard to say what is noon around here. I mean, it'll be gone soon. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, we're interested in scrolls if you have any, and we also would like to browse your wares, see if you have any specific potions.
Absolutely, feel free. We got scrolls over there. Got some new magic items in from a old friend of ours down that way, and yeah, anything you're looking for. You look around the room, there seems to be various staves and actually some magical weapons hanging on a rack. There's scrolls, there's books. There's a corner full of components and things like that.
Denier smiles a bit. Your friend you mentioned, he wouldn't happen to be named Hackless, would he?
Oh, yeah, Hackless. Yeah, he was staying with us for a little bit while he was out exploring, and yeah, he came by, dropped off some stuff we were happy to buy from him, and
Yeah,
What did he drop off? Asmo shouts from the door.
a few items, some staves, a couple of knives. He has a lot of knives. Sword or two.
Yeah, he does. Color me curious. The knives, anything that he dropped off, does anything have, like, a very small magical gem in them?
I mean, it's how he does his enchanting, so yeah, a few of them.
How many of them?
Let's say two of the knives he dropped. The two knives that we bought from him did, and the one that didn't was the sword he sold us. And
Denier uses Mage Hand, and he fishes out the gem that he pulled from Hackless's dagger. You mean something like these?
not that color, no. But I mean, about that size, I guess.
Do you mind if I take a look at them?
Go ahead, they're right over there. Not really sure which ones were the ones he gave us, but
Oh, I'll be able to tell.
okie doke.
Denier will go over to the weapons, and he uses the gem to determine if there are any gems inside this magic shop.
I mean, there are none of the particular gem you're looking for. The gem you're holding out right now is only reacting to the ones that you have in the bag. And,
Cool.
of course, the dagger that you've been unable to put away.
Cool. Had to double check. So he'll go over and he'll take a look at the scrolls.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a investigation check to see what you can find.
Okie doke. 10.
All right, 10. All right. You find a couple that kind of catch your eye a bit. You find a scroll of Burning Hands, a scroll of Shatter, a scroll of Earth Tremor, a scroll of Ice Knife, a scroll of Snillock's Snowball Swarm, and False Life.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Okay, so Burning Hands, you said Earth Tremor.
Burning Hands, Shatter, Earth Tremor, Ice Knife, Snillock's Snowball Swarm, and False Life.
How much, how much for this one? And he shows Shatter.
Oh, well, normally that'll be about 200 gold. But I believe I've been giving look for somebody of your description. I'm supposed to give you a discount. I can do that for 100.
That sounds fair. I'll go ahead and I'll pay the 100 for Shatter.
All right, you got a Scroll of Shatter. It's cast as a second level spell.
What does Ice Knife do exactly?
Somebody like to roll an arcane check to define Ice Knife for Osmo?
Absolutely. I'll roll that in just a second.
Yay!
17.
Ice Knife is a spell that you create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range, the range being about 60 feet. On hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of the point where the ice knife exploded must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage.
Ooh.
Basically, it's a
Okay, I like that.
icicle that flies forward and explodes.
Ice grenade, essentially.
Basically.
It's an ice grenade.
So,
Asmo like just grabs it. I'll take it and slams it down on the table.
50 gold, please. Would you also like to roll an investigation, see if you find anything else?
Yes, I would love to.
yeah,
That's an unmodified. It's a modified 1.
I had something for this.
oh boy.
Do.
Yeah, Denier shows his scrolls that he found to Wolfgang and Asmo in case they want to buy one as well as do the investigation of their own.
Yeah, you found a scroll of light.
Ooh, me or?
Yeah, you, when you're just kind of looking through here.
The scroll of light was
Yeah. Basically, Wolfgang would be able to tell you every time he's basically made like a little ball of light with his hand. It's what it is. It's essentially just a little cantrip that allows for the creation of a lantern light effect.
That could be useful if our boy is knocked out. Thinks about Wolfgang. How much for the scroll of light?
Oh, you can have that one for, I don't know, 50 silver.
The silver. How much silver is in a gold piece?
I've been doing like 100 conversions basically. There's 100 silver to a gold in my books anyway. I'm not going by standard because I think doing it by hundreds is easier.
All right. Because I think I have 50 silver pieces actually. All right. Yeah, he tosses a gold their way, and I'll add that to my inventory.
Cool. Wait,
And
it's
that
platinum. That's the weird one. Yeah, platinum is the one that I'm still doing 100 to 1.
Scroll of ice dagger,
Yeah, scroll of ice knife.
ice knife, and scroll of light. All right, cool. I'm good.
Cool. And Wolfgang, did you want to look around at all?
I wanted to see what their magical items look like.
Okay. Any particular magical item that you're looking for? Clothing, weapon?
Yeah, basically like equipment, things that I can put on me.
All right.
Can he
On
have a
specific,
robot
Go
hand?
ahead and give me an investigation check.
12.
All right. You find there's a hefty rack of cloaks that seem to heat themselves to help you. Basically, basically it gives you a reduction to cold damage and will make it so you can survive in cold weather a lot easier. And other than that, at a 12, hold on, I had a different pile here.
Oh, pile of coats that do that? Oh boy.
Yeah, there's just a rack of them. There's a set of goggles that catches your attention. Seem kind of interesting. They look like they have basically what looks to be kind of like green lenses on the front of them. And they have this weird little clockwork pattern design on them. Looks almost like paisley-ish in the embroidery, or not embroidery, but whatever the metal work for that word is. And the strap that goes around the neck seems to be kind of an elasticy leather sort of material.
I will cast Detect Magic to see what school it is from.
It is divination.
I put them on.
All right. You notice that on one of the sides there seems to be kind of like a little almost switch-like, button-like thing over one of the eyes.
I go ahead and give that a press.
Nothing seems to change. But you can tell they're working. Like, you get this faint magical hum kind of around your head and eyes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Can you tell me what these do?
Oh, those will allow you to see something that basically otherwise would be invisible.
Invisa goggles.
Yeah, basically, on activation, these goggles will allow you to cast the spell See Invisibility.
How much?
Oh, for something like that, I could probably part with it for about 200 gold, seeing as you guys are the heroes and all.
Is there anything else that I noticed on the equipment rack?
Those are the things that caught your eye. There's a lot of things here. Obviously, there's like a lot of daggers and swords, but nothing that you're entirely proficient with, considering I mean, unless you're looking for some type of sword or knife to add to your repertoire, but nothing in the terms of the wearables that jump out to you like, buy me. At least not with that. At least not when you're not looking for something specific.
All right, I'll take them.
All right. She sells them to you, and she gives you the information that you need to know that essentially you can use these once a day, and hopefully you're not going to run into too many invisible things. She kind of makes that as a bit of a quip, but they take about one full rotation to re-up. So, like, at the one long rest, it'll essentially be back to its working self.
Okay. All right. Well, I keep them around my neck. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Anything else I can do for you boys?
Did you tell Ozma about the heated cloaks?
How much for the cloaks as well?
Oh, each of those cloaks? For you lot, I could probably get them out to you for about 50 gold apiece.
Why the cloaks?
Well, it's going to get colder the farther north we go.
Yeah, something special about them, or?
Well, these are the finest we have. They are preheated, sir. They will keep
Ozma,
you warm in the...
Ozma, it's the camera just pans to the right. He's already there grabbing one.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
he just kind of does a dive and just, like, you're in it already. And yeah, it's nice and toasty in here. Like, you haven't felt this good since you were down south.
So Ozma slams down. Oh, are we wearing dusters? Just quick for what they look like.
For the sake of this, let's say that it kind of looks like the cross between a bomber jacket and a duster.
Oh, yeah.
Got a nice big collar on it. It has like a hood on the back that has nice like little frilly edges to it.
Bomber jacket / duster. That
And
is.
tell you what, you can even say what color each of yours are.
Mine's black.
Black with yellow trim.
Yeah, buddy. Get it.
Mine's white, of course.
White with black trim.
And why not red with black trim?
And red with black trim.
So Daenerys curious. So I have a question for you. Would it be possible to say transfer certain enchantments from one particular item to another? Like, say, for example, if I have a cloak that I rather enjoy, would it be possible to transfer the enchantment from this particular cloak over to that particular cloak, or is that
Well, you have to
outside?
be quite talented, I'd say, but I don't suppose anything's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for those that study at the Magic College up in the capital.
Ah, okay. And how much are these cloaks?
They were 50 gold apiece.
Perfect. Then Daenerys will take one of the cloaks as well.
You guys are all decked out in your nice warm bomber jacket looking winter coats. And they feel nice and toasty. Like whatever your preferred body temperature is, they match that. They're smart coats.
I really love technology in the future.
Yeah, magic technology is great.
Mm.
All right. Well, you guys got your scrolls and
Does
your
she
cloaks.
She got any potions?
Oh yeah, there's a bit of a potion selection off to the side. Anything you're looking for?
Healing potions would be good. Basically, I want to see particularly what she has. Healing potions, maybe a dragon's breath potion. Healing is the big one that we need.
All right. She has about 10 healing potions on sale over there. Just your standard, regular run-of-the-mill basic healing potion. The 2d4 or 2d whatever kind.
Mm-hmm. So how much is she going to charge us for it? For each one?
She's going to charge you... Man, what's the basic cost of those again? I think it's...
50, I think.
Yeah, she'd charge you half that, so like 25 gold apiece.
Okay. Denier will take one.
One healing potion?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me roll to see if you find a dragon fire potion or potion of fire breath or something. No, not in this store, I'm afraid. Seem to have some potions over there that do basically what those cloaks do, but...
Mm-hmm. No, that's all that Denier's going to want. Taka, Connor, either of you need healing potions or specific potions?
Nope, I'm good.
I think I'm good.
Now, you know what? He'll buy a second healing potion then.
Alright, gets you a second healing potion.
Okay. And that's going to be good for Denier. He's got his spices, he's got his scroll, he's got his supplies. He's good to go.
Alright. Well, Miss Vorchek thanks you kindly for your business, and you guys head back out into the town. It's starting to get a bit later again. The sun's starting to dip on the other direction now.
Alright, so we're heading north after this, right? And
Yeah.
we're going to this, like, hot springs, exactly? How did that come about?
Well, the mayor mentioned it. Said that one of his friends runs a hot spring and just gave us for some free coupons. Figured we might drop by there, you know.
Osmo says in a hushed tone, right into Wolfgang's ear,
You know, not to mention it, but we did kill his son. So, if we do go to his friend's place, let's be extra careful, okay?
I don't think he knows.
Oh, and he won't. Well, let's not forget that.
Osmo says, and he turns and walks back to the inn.
While they're walking, Asmo, I found a merchant that's selling some rather nice meat rations.
I'll swing by there later.
Good deal.
Yeah, it's just down the eastern street where the
Cool.
market seems to be set up.
Alrighty, Osmo kind of goes off on his. We'll go off on his own now.
All right, Osmo. Anything particular you're looking for while you're going off on your own?
I'll just grab 10 extra rations, and that's about it.
All right, rations are 5 copper apiece. Nothing to worry about really.
Okay.
Yeah, as the two of you get back to the tavern, Mr. Fjord is waiting for you on the inside. I got a carriage I'll set up for you. Well, I have it aligned, but I just need to know when exactly that you want to be leaving.
What do you think, guys? Tomorrow morning?
We want to, at the very least, we want to stay long enough to be with Miguel.
Yes, he's out to the east, setting it up at present. He made mention that if you lot would stop by sometime after sundown, he'd be ready for you.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
tomorrow morning seem good?
Tomorrow morning.
I'll make sure that they're all geared up and ready for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Denier gives a smile.
He steps out after giving you a nod. Asmo, I'm assuming you eventually return to the tavern after picking up your business.
Yup.
Yeah, Asmo returns little after, like, while the sun is starting to go down. You guys have just kind of been sitting around. You can do whatever you want in the tavern. There's like a dartboard, play darts, drink, try to make food.
Denier's been writing in the new book of their adventures up to this point.
Asmo sits down across from Wolfgang.
Wolfgang's probably playing darts.
You're just sitting at a table, feet up, throwing darts at the wall.
Yeah,
Go ahead and give me just a dex check for your average.
Yeah, he's testing his accuracy. He's been missing a lot lately, so he's trying to hone his senses yet again. 19.
Yeah, all of them have been striking pretty true. You've been getting 20s just outside the bullseyes, couple of bullseyes.
So what the fuck was she? Asmo says with no tact.
Wolf slowly turns over to him. You mean that thing?
Yeah,
The bait
her.
in the cellar.
Yeah, what was she?
Well, we've come this far together, so I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know.
You have to be kidding me. What do you mean you don't know?
Neither I, nor my father, nor Miguel, nor any of the past Connollys who have wrote in this book, and he holds up his monster hunting manual, basically.
Yeah, basically a monster grimoire.
There is nothing in this book passed down from Connolly to Connolly. There's nothing.
Okay. Then are you So you've never faced one before, whatever she was.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Oh god. Asmo just sits back in his chair, just like does that thing when someone wipes their hands across their face like Jesus Christ. Like, ugh.
For all we know, we might be the first people to have ever seen one.
Oh, isn't that just our luck? Ridiculous.
So does that mean that we get to name it?
I suppose. The only way people can contest us is if they've seen one before, so I suppose we could. He flips open the book of monster lore and goes to the entry that he wrote down. There's like a big blank line on top of it.
Very distinct between the past two pages. I mean, you've added your own notes to certain paragraphs in the past, but this is the first time that you've ever had to document a creature.
Suggestions?
Also just looks up a Clara. Simple and sweet. Named after the first one. And hopefully the last.
Bit on the nose, but that's fair. Denier?
Lani, can I roll an intelligence check?
For what?
I want to try to figure out a good name for it.
Well, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He wants to come up with one and make you do it, Nick. You see?
No.
It's a succubus?
Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to point, like, I know what succubus means in Latin, so I'm trying to make the connection to Denier.
If only that was an actual language in this world. Go ahead, give me an intelligence check, and I'll throw a word at you at the very least.
18?
seemed like a being of pure chaos, some type of aberration, some monstrosity, some...
It's all right. So
something that corrupts.
It corrupts. It seduces. It makes you bend to their will. But their form is generally alluring.
How do we know? We've only met the one.
Well, I'm basing my guesses off of the creature.
That's true.
Calm down, chat.
A word comes to your mind.
Yeah,
Something that combines... A word comes to your mind, Denier. Something that combines what Osmos says with this alluring, basically demoness, a Claratrix.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, I got it. It's got what Asmo speaks of, and it's got what I've described. How about this? A Claratrix.
Wolfgang writes it down.
Top of the page, Claratrix. You got the drawing there of a alluring female form, the skull with the horns protruding, the wings leaving out the back. Along with your various descriptors of behaviors that you've noted from it.
Well, and there we have it. The Claratrix. Documented by the three of us.
You hear a knock on the door when it opens.
It's a knock on the door.
Miguel's standing there.
We're ready for you.
Okay.
Here's where we'll take a break.
Yay, be right back. Gotta go.
All right, everybody take their BRB. So Miguel is standing there. He looks kind of solemn while you guys have just come up with the name for your latest monster that you guys have encountered.
I'm ready for you if you're ready.
Yeah. Wolfgang sort of takes off his hat and holds it over his chest.
Oh boy. Osmo wasn't there for the earlier conversation, but he can tell what's going on, right?
Yeah, you can tell that there's funeral preparations that have been made. Do you lot join?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. As you step out into the town, there are lots of people standing in the streets. Just some with hat over hand, some with children in arms. Just kind of like solemnly watching you march by as you make your way out. As you make your way out of town, off to the east where the cemetery had been, you see basically what looks to be stacks of wood in a pyre, and on top is basically Magnus's body underneath a decorative blanket of sorts. As you step out of the gates lined with people, Darren Fjord is there, hat in hand, kind of bowing his head towards you as you make your way towards this pyre. Next to the pyre, there's a torch just kind of sitting in a brazier, waiting to be picked up.
Magnus, he was a good partner. And an even better brother. We had each other's backs. And I don't know what I'm going to do without him, but I will carry on. I'll carry on for you, Magnus. You may be gone from this realm and waiting in the world beyond. And I'll have a hell of a story to tell you when I get there. So wherever you are, I know you're watching over me. You've always had my back, and I know that's not gonna change. Rest in peace, brother. Say hi to Mom and Dad for me.
He takes the torch from the resting place and starts to light the bits of kindling at the base. He sets it back in the... just kind of tosses it aside as the flames begin to wick up the sides of the pyre. The flames grow higher and higher into the sky, eventually engulfing the blanket and the body within. Sparks begin to rain in the sky and dance, dancing their macabre dance as the wind blows and carries them higher. The moon, whose full cratered eye is almost looking down upon you, almost as if looking away in some form of awkward respect. The pyre burns for what feels like hours as people from in the town begin re-entering their homes. Eventually, all that's left is a pile of smoldering ash. Miguel walks up and grabs a piece of the ash and brushes some of it against his face, and then throws the rest into the night sky as it gets carried up, along with the sparks before it, into the north, into the wind. Miguel just stands there silently, staring off into space.
I know I haven't known you for very long. But we're blood. We're Connellys. Think about my offer.
He nods.
I got some business to take care of first.
That's fair.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out what looks to be a piece of red cloth.
I found this at the scene. It was clenched in his mouth. I think he wanted me to find who did this to him.
If you want help, I'm here.
I already have it sent.
He hands you the cloth. It looks to be kind of a maroon red. Seems velvety, sort of silky. A really nice material. A bit thicker than you'd expect and a bit tougher than you'd expect. I don't know how hard he pulled, but it seemed to be as tough as leather. He might have gotten a few good hits in, but in the end he did everything he could to bring this freak down. Keep an eye out.
I'll
And
let
if
you know.
Find it. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll let you know if we find anything.
Kind of floats a hood over his scarred, bald head. Till next time, cousin.
I hold my hand out to him.
He grabs your wrist and pulls you in for a hug.
Yeah, I was about to do the same thing.
You can actually feel him sob a little. When you get back home, you take care of yours, all right?
Yeah.
He steps back. You can see some tears welling in his eyes, kind of freezing at the tips of his eyelashes. He gives you a nod. Let's go. And he starts to walk off into the night.
Wolfgang puts his hat back on, tips it over his eyes. We should get rested.
Early morning tomorrow, right?
Right.
Yeah. I do have one piece of business while we're going back into town, though. Denier would say as they're more than likely
Making your way back
heading
in.
back.
Yeah. Darren Fjord has been standing at the edge this whole time, just silently looking down, hat over his heart. Doesn't say anything as you pass.
Is he indicating he wants to speak to us, or
No, he's just respectfully standing there throughout the entire part of it. Everybody else in the town has gone back inside, but he stood throughout the entire event.
Sort of pat him on the shoulder as I walk past him.
He doesn't have any words to give. He just sort of nods and waits as you leave, and then eventually goes off and goes back. But what did you want to do on your way back in, Denier, as you were talking to everybody?
Going back, I'm going to I'm going to find the outhouse on the way back in when we pass through. I'm going to drop the orb into the outhouse.
All right, you find a space out back of somebody's house. Bloop.
Enjoy the view now, you son of a bitch. And I head back to the inn.
You guys head back to the inn. It's not light or full of life as it used to be. It's just dark. Still warm thanks to the hearth bricks, but feels empty and soulless. And there's a clear smell of rot coming up from down the stairs now.
Didn't decorpse the place, did we?
No, there's Sandra's body is still down there.
Oops. Asmo was just behind the bar, grabs the bottle and grabs 2 glasses and just kind of motions to Wolfgang the glasses and a bottle. and pours two of them. And leans up against the bar.
Wolfgang will grab one and start drinking.
You know, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. This is just a job. Just want to make this money. Get back to town and take care of some personal business. But, I'm not gonna lie. This little side stuff is, not really what I signed up for. But you lost blood in this. For that, you have my condolences.
Thank you. It's hard. Separating from family. Especially mine. Never know if I'm going to see him again. Every time.
Not to presume there's not many of you left. Your family.
No. For all I know, we might be the only ones.
Who the fuck is gonna hunt these goddamn monsters then?
Us.
Aslan just kind of chortles and looks at him.
Big ass will for you and your brother. You and your cousin, sorry.
We have to. Because who else is going to do it?
Just people as batshit crazy as you two.
Aslan pours another drink for you. And for himself.
Crazy enough to care, I suppose. What I want is to make the world safe for my son. Before, I thought it was. Amber Glade. There were no problems there. Occasional bandits, but nothing I couldn't handle. Nothing the guard couldn't handle.
Yeah, that's why they arrested me.
Aslan just kind of smiles.
But all this stuff with the bleeding god. Now I know my work ain't done. And it probably won't be for a long time.
Bleeding god, lore god, magical taverns, monsters, serial killers, assassins. Man, I just want to make some money. What the fuck?
Shoots his shot back.
One more for the road. You as well?
To friends and family gone. And to a job well done.
Aslan just kind of like begrudgingly agrees to that one. And pours out one more.
To Denier.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, that was just a joke.
I've been standing here the entire time.
Yeah, you've just been kind of in the corner, like doing some writing and looking through various pages of other books.
He looks up from his books. At the very least, you say you want to get paid. You have to admit, every one of these jobs that we've done, we've gotten paid more money than I've ever seen in my life up to this point. Not to mention, think when we get back and we turn these over, he motions towards his hip.
Out of character, I mean, those hips don't lie, but can they really hold all those secrets?
Maybe. He's got
That's
a lot
true.
of secrets.
And after that job, We make our money and we do what we will with it.
Yeah. We figure out the next step from there because
No, I already know my next step.
Yeah,
I'll help you find yours.
Figured after this one was done, you'd part ways.
Well, does that upset you?
No, not really.
No, be still, my bleeding heart. Not everyone's so pious.
Osmo shoots his third shot.
Make a con save.
19.
Down it like a champ.
All right. Go to bed. See you in the morning.
if the stress is getting to you, Asmo, as he's walking away, I got something that might help.
Asmo just kind of says, walking up the stairs, "What?"
Pipeweed. Really good stuff. Magical pipeweed.
Stops
Makes you feel amazing.
Stops for a second on the stairs.
Later there.
Asmo keeps walking upstairs.
All right. Later then.
You hang up your cloak and you tuck yourself into bed.
I check the door. I also check the...
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check and one perception check, one investigation check.
That's a nat 1 on perception.
All right, yeah. Don't notice anything really.
Natural 20 investigation.
All right. You check the windows, you check the door. You are 1,000% certain nothing has been meddled with.
Okay.
I love the nat 1 and nat 20 back to back. That just makes me happy.
No, that's great.
Oh, rolling algorithm.
Yeah. Anything you two would like to do for the rest of the evening before you turn in?
Daenerys going to walk over and he's going to take a seat next to Wolfgang. So, your boy, do you think he's going to get into the family business, or do you hope something more for him?
Well, that's part of the reason why I'm working so hard. I want to make the world safe so that he doesn't have to get into the family business. I want him to grow up into whatever he wants. With the bleeding god around, that can't happen.
Yeah. Daenerys gives a warm smile. I look forward to watching him grow up. In a world where he can do what he pleases without having to worry about monsters and gems seeking for blood.
I just hope I'll be around for most of it.
Oh, I'm not going to let anything happen to you, and you're not going to let anything happen to me.
I mean, be there for most of it, you know.
Yeah.
We're always out on the road. I just hope after this I'll be able to go home and see him. Feels like it's been ages. Wonder if he's grown.
You reflect on this as you look out the window.
Probably have
It's been
long black hair like his mother.
It's been about, you feel like you've been on the road for what looks to be a full month based on the rotation of the moon. The full scar has departed and the eye is slowly making its way towards facing down towards the earth. You're thinking, once that eye is looking all the way down and heading the other direction, his birthday's not too far off. He's almost a year old.
Hope we get this job done in time for his birthday. It's coming up soon.
That's going to be one hell of a celebration, even if he doesn't remember it. We will.
Yeah.
We say we get some sleep and get on the road tomorrow.
That sounds good.
Good. I might just spook the hell out of Asmo when he wakes up. Denier gives him a mischievous grin.
You know, I was kind of hoping he'd change his tune. He's a good fighter. Got good instincts. He'd make a wonderful monster hunter. But he doesn't have the mindset.
Well, I think he's coming around to it. I mean, when we were first in Emberglade, look how he acted. Look how he fought Garrick tooth and nail. He's changed over the course of this adventure. Like we all have. I don't think he's there yet, but give him some time. He'll come around.
Well, he's given me his answer for now. And I'll respect that.
Yeah.
You guys you finish off your glass of whiskey, Wolfgang, and Denier, you finish up whatever you need to write for the evening. You head to bed.
Alarm the window, alarm the door, make it so a bell ring instead of mental alarm, and it is set that only Asmo, Wolfgang, and Denier can enter or leave without it triggering.
All right. You make it through the night. Nothing seems to set it off.
Upon waking up, Denier's going to hang out, and when Asmo begins to stir, he's going to prestidigitation a small black tin with Asmo's face on it. And he just sets it, a small black tin, like an aluminum
like
tin.
a box?
Yeah, like a can, like
Okay.
an aluminum can. And he's going to put it at the foot of Asmo's bed, and he's going to stealth.
What?
All right. I want each of you to roll me a con save to see who wakes up first.
Okay,
First.
9.
15.
Well, this is between the two of them.
Oh.
7.
Oh, yeah. Shadow, you still get up first, but Wolfgang, you're up well early. You make yourself some breakfast. You're downstairs while all this shit's going on. Asmo, by this point, you've healed back up to full, even if you hadn't by now. In fact, all of you have. If any of you had any missing hit points left.
Okay. And for my stealth check, 13.
Okay.
I don't know what you're doing right now. I'm very confused.
All right, Asmo, as you wake up, there is a what looks to be a metal facsimile of your face at the foot of your bed. And you can make a perception check with disadvantage as you're just waking up right now.
7.
Yeah.
What?
What the fuck is that?
It's basically a small box with a lid, and the box is black and it's got Asmo's face on it.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing. I have no idea. I'm so confused.
Do you do anything with the box? Do you check it or do you just leave it?
I don't. No. I don't know what is happening.
Okay, you see that, you wake up. What do?
I don't know. I go back to bed.
Do you just kick it off the bed and go back to sleep?
I give it a quizzical look.
The fuck?
What? I like poke it with my sword.
Yeah, you reach down below your bed or under your pillow and you just jab it with your short sword.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tinks to the ground. Tink, tink, tink.
Lani the fuck.
All right, you get up after it tinks to the ground.
Yeah, Ozma just kind of like just gets dressed and like leaves it. I don't know what it is.
So Asmo just left.
Yeah, he leaves.
After
He gets
everybody
dressed
leaves,
and leaves.
after
You're just doing your Spider-Man in the corner of the room routine.
After everybody leaves, Denier gets up, walks over to the box. He opens it up, and a little spring-loaded Asmo pops out with a piece of paper that says "Good morning," and then he makes it disappear.
I had no idea what you were planning. I'm so sorry.
Dude, it's okay.
All right, you guys go downstairs. Wolfgang's like, you can smell the Wolfgang's been cooking some stuff.
It's a weird ass box at the end of my damn bed. Did you get one too? Did someone sneak in?
Denier just appears behind you.
Did you hear?
Something personal, kid.
Good morning.
What was up with that? What was that? What was that thing at the end of my bed?
Oh,
Is
you
that
mean
you?
this? Another one appears in front of him.
Bonk.
What is that?
You know me. I like to tinker.
I mean,
It's nothing harmful, I can assure you.
Eggs.
It's not even a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, just opens up. You got like a little facsimile, like little puppet of you holding a piece of paper that says "Good morning."
Asma just slowly turns to Denier.
I appreciate the hustle.
Have you ever seen a snake in a can? Like the snakes in the can of peanut brittle?
Yeah, the old practical joke.
It's something similar.
Okay. Yeah, you guys eat up your breakfast. You get a knock at the door. It's a man in a tall black hat, black cloak. Looks kind of gaunt. Good morning, sirs.
Good morning.
Your carriage awaits whenever you need it.
Wonderful. We have a small bit of business to take care of, but we will join you very soon. Where is the carriage?
Right outside.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wolfgang, don't forget we need to go to the blacksmith, otherwise we're going to leave without paying our supplies.
No, I won't forget.
I'm gonna stay with the carriage rider while I eat breakfast. Oh, thanks for breakfast. There's decent eggs.
Yep, everything's good.
Better than my cooking.
Oh, don't beat yourself up, Asmo.
I mean, Denier, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, little
Wow.
little Freudian there. Don't beat yourself up, me. You do your best.
Character Freudian slip I've ever heard.
Denier walks over, pets Asmo on the shoulder, and he gives him a smile. You're doing okay. Just remember that. I like you. You like you. And that's all that can be asked. If anybody else doesn't like you, then they can go take a long walk off of a short pier.
Yes, that sounds lovely.
You want breakfast too?
No, thank you. I am beyond those needs.
Are you the life of the party wherever you go?
He floats towards you.
Quite the opposite, really.
What?
Detect magic.
This man's a ghost.
What?
Yes! I thought he was a vampire for a second.
That was...
What the bloody
As well
hell
just-
sort of carriage service did we order?
The kind that doesn't tire and doesn't stop, sir.
This is amazing.
Well, I'll be damned.
What is he?
You notice that he's actually rather translucent, except for his clothing.
Apparently he's a ghost.
We prefer the term specters.
Sorry, Spectre.
Thank you. Ghost is fine.
This is a first. I mostly heard of you in books. And stories told around fires.
I'm not too much of a fan of fires.
Did you die in a fire?
No.
How'd you die?
It's an interesting story, really. Remember that long walk off a short pier you were talking about?
No.
No, nothing like that.
I'm
Oh,
gonna go
good.
grab my bullets.
Grab my box.
Uh-huh.
I seem to have walked in at an awkward moment.
I feel like every place you walk into is an awkward moment.
Not necessarily true. I don't really walk.
Oh my god.
What? I'm Denier. This is Mr. Black. May I ask your name?
My name? It has been so long since anyone has asked. You may call me Beauregard.
Oh my god.
No.
Beauregard.
I have so many questions for you right now, Mr.
Wonderful.
Beauregard.
Allow me to answer them as we go to as we transition scenes.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus, Nick, what the fuck? Ghosts are real?
Yes, ghosts are in fact real.
Damn it, there is an afterlife. Okay.
All right.
Wait, Miguel, come back. We might be able to force ghost him.
Wolfgang, you make your way down to the blacksmith, and well, he's a half elf, but the young man is standing there, still seems to be working on like the last of the order, filing one last bullet. Tink sets them all in the box that was ordered. Oh, good timing.
Oh, you look like had quite a busy couple of days.
It was a long night, but got it done. Just in time. Hands you the box, which is pretty heavy now, but it seems like a nicely decorated box. The inner part of it seems to be lined with lead, like it's a black box and it's got some copper on the outside where the locking mechanisms are. Oh, hopefully this will serve your purposes. And yeah, I got how many silver ingots did you buy again?
I bought 3.
All right, he's got 60 silver bullets in there, and very heavy. And
60 silver bullets?
Yeah, 20 each, 20 from each ingot. He rolled a nat 20 on his craft check.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of bullets.
And you have basically, I think it was like 50 mithril bullets in there as well. The mithril bullets probably won't pack quite as much of a punch as you're looking for, but they're great for enchanting.
That is what I was going for. This is fantastic work. You have really earned yourself a breather.
Well, I think I'll take it. Not a lot of work orders coming in today so far, so I think I'm just going to take the day off. Safe journeys.
I slip in an extra 9 gold.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir.
Oh, there's a tip for doing so well. Thank you very much. These will help quite a bit.
Yeah, you will not be hurting for bullets for quite a while.
No, I won't. Did you say 50?
Wolfgang.
Yes, you have 50. You have 50 pieces of mithril ammunition, and 60 silver pieces of ammunition.
That brings me up to 71.
I feel like Wolfgang would be skipping to the carriage with a hop in his step, listening to
It's
Lone
a
Digger
relatively-
by Caravan Palace.
It's a relatively heavy box that he's holding, considering how much ammunition is in it. It probably weighs about 30 pounds as he's carrying it.
Gonna need another belt at this rate.
Yeah, you get back as everybody else is standing out in front of the tavern. One thing you did notice after leaving the tavern and seeing the carriage, the horse that is pulling it, it's not a phantom steed, but it looks like a skeleton, like a spectral skeleton.
This doesn't weird people out.
I mean, they do worship the goddess of death.
She's been quite kind to me, letting me stay on Earth.
Oh my god.
May I get your bags, sirs?
Yeah, I want to see this. Aswell just throws his packet to the ground. You pick it up.
It just kind of starts to float,
Oh man.
and it ends up kind of in the luggage rack of the carriage.
Hey, Daenerys, this would be good for your book.
I am already thinking about exactly how to write this.
Everything.
Wonderful. I have not been included in a piece of media for some time.
And no one's gonna believe your name's Beauregard, though. It's too perfect.
Was that your name in life?
Yes.
It's just I can't. Wow. I'm like the blinking gift guy personified as Aswell right now. Like what is happening? This is.
Shall we make our way, gentlemen?
Yeah, we get into that hot springs, right?
Ah, wonderful. Steamy Springs, next destination.
Is it? Would you say it's lively?
Don't be an ass.
I'm asking.
Oh, it was a joke. Huh?
So I didn't know ghosts. I didn't know ghosts for real till about 5 minutes ago. So give me a break. Oh.
You've never run into a spectre before?
Nope.
Well, yes, we are quite real. I will say I have never run into one of your persuasion either, so we are both meeting new people today.
It's interesting to meet someone more cold-blooded than me.
I have no blood.
That's what gets on the carriage like I can't.
Yeah, he opens up, the door pops open for you. The inside seems to be lined with like red velvet. The seats look cushioned and nice, and there's a nice warmth radiating from within.
There are snacks in the satchel to the side, if you wish to partake.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, sirs.
And he kind of bows his head, which then rolls forward and slumps down onto his chest.
As Daenerys climbs in, he's going to turn to Asma. He's going to pull out the dagger. Hey, I know that you like to collect weapons. After I get the gem out of this, do you want it?
Now, what does it do? Because Aswell doesn't actually know what that one does.
Well, this one, when I got stabbed with it, it made my flesh decay. I don't know if it's...
I will let you make an arcane check with advantage since you've been attacked by it.
Okay.
It was you that wasn't the gem, or was it
22.
All right. Basically, for the sake of the weapon stats as is, it is a magic dagger, so it's a +1 dagger, deals 1d4, but it also deals 1d8 necrotic damage as a free action, with the caveat that if you do use that effect, you also take the same damage.
And is that with the gem or without the gem?
That's as is.
Okay. Okay, so looking over this as they're in it, this is magical. And if this does necrotic damage, if you hit somebody with it, their flesh is going to start to decay. But
you also notice like some like needle-like appendages in the handle that also deals this, like, will do the same thing back to you.
But it's going to do the same thing to you.
The asshole just kind of carefully takes it in his hand. Like he's not gonna, like, he's just gonna hold it kind of by the middle, so he doesn't actually have to hold on to the handle, so he doesn't feel the blade stabbing into him. Damn. What does it look like actually?
It is basically, it's got this like hook sort of form to it, where it looks almost like a mini sickle. If it were to think like a mini scimitar that has a very pointed edge that then comes back down and forms almost a sickle shape, but the blade of the sickle is on the opposite side that would normally be on.
Oh, okay.
It's very decorative.
So sort of like a long karambit knife.
Yes.
Oh, what's it called? I just want to quickly look up what that is.
Karambit.
Karambit.
K-A-R-A.
Oh, okay. There. Karabit.
Yeah, very similar to that, just the blade is on the outside, not the inside.
Oh, okay. I see that now.
And it's, the handle doesn't look like it looks like a standard leather dagger handle, basically.
Okay. I see this now. Oh, I think those are badass looking.
Now,
Thanks.
I don't know if the gem is causing the secondary effect or not. So when I remove the gem, the gem causes a secondary effect. So if I remove the gem, you're going to lose the secondary effect of it, and it's just going to be a normal magical dagger.
Well, why don't you hold on for it? Do it right now. Consider it a last-ditch effort use.
Well, I'm thinking about just popping the gem off of it and putting it in the lockbox.
Oh, you should do that then. I'll take the knife. Appreciate it.
Fair enough. And Danir's going to use Mage Hand and his own dagger to pop the gem out, put it with the others, and give Asmo the +1 dagger.
All right, you guys have climbed into the carriage. The door closes. Have a pleasant trip, sirs.
Are you not coming with us?
I will be up front. You hear from outside. And then his face pokes in from the front. This is my seat. And then it floats back out of the carriage.
That is an amazing trick.
That's not a trick. That is fucking creepy.
Well, at least he's not a poltergeist.
Was there a difference?
Well, yes, actually there is.
Oh my god.
I scroll through my book of lore and I basically explain the different types of ghost.
There's so many actual kinds of ghosts.
Yep.
Very true.
Don't strengthen out the ooh part. I know what you're doing.
You start to hear clipping and clopping from outside as the carriage begins to roll.
Okay, so you
make
said
your way out to the north.
So real quick, +1 dagger. What does that actually do in my inventory?
Just gives you it gives you a +1 to hit and a +1 to damage, and it counts as magical for the sake of damage reduction.
Oh, okay. It's not bad then. We'll add that to my inventory later.
Thanks, Danir. Is there anything
Absolutely.
else? Is there anything you want? Like, you'd be really good hooking me up with shit, spider fluid, and
Oh, I guess you had the scrying orb, so.
Yeah, that's gone now. That's in the shitter.
No, you're doing absolutely everything that you need to do. Every time that I've got somebody on me, you're always right in its face to keep it off of me. But I do want to remind you of something. Danir reaches over and he taps the ring on Asmo's finger. Don't forget to use that.
I always forget about it. The first thing we ever got. I always forget about it.
It's okay. Abjuration is a marvelous school of magic, especially for keeping you safe. It's been keeping me alive all this time.
You start to hear a noise outside the cart. It sounds very faint, just... sounds...
What?
Like... Do you open the window?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You open the window and you see outside, the streets are lined with people cheering for you.
What the?
And they start throwing, like, balls in the air, and they start popping and whizzing, and basically, like, looks like kind of like a small fireworks display as this town is cheering you on your way out.
Asmo just like blushes and sinks into his coat. Jesus.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah. You guys make your way out of town as people are cheering you and praising you, and some even throw money. Like, you get about like 50 to 100 silver worth of coins just being tossed that make it into the window.
Are they making it hail?
Yeah, they're making it hail. You guys wave at them as you see fit, and they cheer for you. At the end of the street, you see Mr. Darren Fjord standing out there. Have a pleasant trip! And thank you for everything you've done again. You barely hear him over the cheers of the crowd as you guys make your way out of Cold Reach and toward the Steamy Springs Spa, where we will pick up next time on Roll With Me.